Welcome back into In Focus Kentucky. We appreciate you joining us this week, and we are continuing our conversation about National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we're talking about its impact here in the state of Kentucky. And joining me now to talk more about this conversation are three more students from Boyle County Middle School, and joining me is Kennedy Ulrich right here. And we also have Brooklyn Rockhold in the middle, and we also have Addison Woodard, excuse me. And we appreciate you joining us today on In Focus Kentucky. And we'll start first with Kennedy. Talk with us about this entire process. You all were 3 of 5 students who helped write some legislation that was heard in Frankfort with different legislators there. Talk about, in your opinion, through this process, what does it mean to be able to, for child abuse, what does it mean to you to be able to come up with words that these legislators are talking about in Frankfort?
I think it just means that, like, it's showing kids like what signs it is to like be abused, and to like show them like if somebody is being abused, like they can report it and they're safe to be able to talk about it.
And Brooklyn, how important is it to you to be able to for legislation to be created in Frankfort to make schools, in theory, offer this to students as an education? How important is that in this conversation?
It's very important because I think child abuse is a very big issue in Kentucky, and a lot of times it goes more unnoticed than it should, and it's not like as known as probably it should because there's lots of cases in Kentucky, so I feel like it's a really big deal.
And Addison, how was this process of you all spent time in Frankfort, but also in Louisville? You all spoke at different events about this particular topic. How was this for you?
So I feel like it's very important considering that we're ranked 2nd in worst child abuse rates in Kentucky, and it's really important that kids just know that they are being abused and that it's wrong and that they don't know.
And Kennedy, is it important for you and impactful that you are, in middle school, but you are literally drafted legislation that is going to potentially, if it's passed and approved, that could impact the future for Kentucky? How cool is that for you all?
I think it's really cool because we're like, again, only in 8th and 7th grade, and yet we're making a big difference.
And what about you?
Yeah, I just think it's like really, really cool because especially since we all kind of know people who have been abused, so it's a really big deal that we get to help their situations, and yeah, the fact that we're so young just makes it so much better.
And Addison, you all during this entire process have learned kind of how state government works, that it's a very long process to get the wording correct, and then to actually get things, the voting process takes its own time as well. But how has it been to learn in the entire way of the state government?
Learning, it was pretty fun to learn how everything works, and like started out in 5th grade just learning how bills become a law, and that we're actually making a bill that could possibly be like a resolution that people would actually do.
Well, we are going to have an extended conversation with you all on our In Focus Kentucky web extra segment, but we appreciate you joining us here during this particular taping process, okay? All right, well, that is it for today's edition of In Focus Kentucky. You can watch this particular show in its entirety online right now at spectruminfocus.com, and you can also see some of our past episodes there. You can also follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search at Mario Anderson TV for news and In Focus Kentucky updates all week long. For now, though, we'll see you next time. Have a great week.